him down. That's a full team kill.
That's
not
his
another.
He's looking for third. He's gonna get it.
Not the kill, and Vastek's gonna find another one. He finds that shot. He finds two.
He's still alive. Can he go in?
Oh my
God.
goodness.
He's gonna go bar down and give Saints the lead again.
Hello, Saints Nation, and welcome back here to Collegiate League of Legends. My name is Jackson the Pride Brown, joined alongside Kaylee or Kai here today, and it's going to be, okay, I'm sorry, man, but week 5 coming through of Collegiate League of Legends. This is actually the last week as well. Saints have already played all of the other teams here in cLoL, and they are looking now to go up against this one here and try to take a win in week 5.
This is definitely going to be an exciting match. We looked at the standings. They're pretty decent on both sides, and I'm actually really excited. Hopefully we'll be able to see my favorite champ again, as always. These are the standings right now. St. Clair is 4-0, Nova Hawks with 3-1, and Heartland with CC with 2-2, as well as Hutchinson. Then we have Bismarck State 1-3, and then Trinity Valley 0-4.
So it's really interesting to see here, right? Because the St. Clair Saints 4-0, and then you have those Nova and Heartland already 2-2 and 3-1. St. Clair has already beaten both of those schools in 2-0 fashion. So now going up against Hutchinson, another school who is 2-2. Yes, and they might provide a little bit of competition here today, but overall, I think the Saints will have their number, just knowing that they have already taken down Nova and Heartland, who have been a little bit higher in the standings than Hutchinson.
For sure. What I will hope to see today is that there will be a nice top lane battle between both St. Clair and Hutchinson. Hutchinson does have a master player, and then so do we, as Ricky is climbing up the way to masters currently. So we do hope to see a good battle up there, and all the other lanes seem to be pretty even as well. So hopefully we'll get some good content for you guys today.
Yeah, we know that they are all on their, solo queued grind or whatever it is to get up there to that Masters division. Everybody's on the climb, putting the work in, regardless. Because that's the one thing that makes the league really interesting, right? You have your game days, then you have your scrim days. Oh, but guess what? You can't forget to queue either. Like, you can't forget to rank queue. You have to play so much.
Yeah, you have to find a good balance between everything. Even I struggle with trying to help out everything over here on our end. Working with the broadcast, I can't seem to find those days where I can just tend to enjoy the game by myself, especially now that I have a league team of my own.
Yeah, exactly. So Hutchinson here in week 5. I'm expecting a good matchup. It is going to be a best of 3 here today. So 2 maps here to take the win between these two teams. The lobby is getting all set up here right now. I believe we have about 10 players all in it now, just about to get started.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, hopefully we...
Hopefully everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, hopefully everything works out. But without further ado, yeah, should be looking at a good game here against Hutchinson, like I was saying. If this one does go quick, we are back on the mic at 5 as well for Overwatch. So... I'm excited to see how this one plays out. If we're going to see a quick 2-0, if we're going to see it force game 3, whatever it may be. And like you were saying, really agree. I want to see that very good battle in top lane.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting.
And if you're Hutchinson, ban Jax.
Ban Jax, ban Aatrox, ban Darius, and you're set.
But that's the thing. St. Clair forces other teams so many times to use like 3 to 5 of their bans on the top lane.
It's because Ricky tends to be one of the strongest players on the team. And just as everybody else is strong on the team, Ricky is definitely up there. So he's able to just get so much control. You kind of leave top lane alone as an island, let them get as strong as possible, and then come back into the game later just to demolish the scene.
And the fact that his champ pool is so deep, it takes so many bans to actually put him at a disadvantage.
Yeah, for sure.
Or otherwise, he'd be like, okay, you're going to ban Jax. It's okay. I can just hop on Aatrox, right? Like, whatever you were saying, right? So, I mean, regardless, St. Clair has the flexibility to work around bans and picks from Hutchinson, and I'm expecting St. Clair to come out here guns and blazing in this game, maybe trying out more stuff. Like, the cLoL seems to tend to be the league where they try out new positions, new heroes, everything like that. So champions, yeah. It is what it is.
I know. There are some new champions that did just come out. One of them we can't see yet because she just came out literally Thursday. But we might be able to see Zeri, and Zeri's an interesting one because she's kind of that ADC who will run you down, but also it's going to be hard because she has so much movement speed, so she just runs around you. But that is a possibility. She is a little bit in the meta right now. Then we do also have Jinx, Caitlyn, and all of those arcane champs, as what we League players call it, the arcane meta. So we might see some Victor too. there's a lot of different champs.
Yeah, so as for the champ select, St. Clair is going to use that to their full advantage. I mean, we already know it. Like, the champ select is where we see so many games be make or break. And I think that we're really going to have to see a very successful champ select from Hutchinson to try to come through with a win here. They have to watch VODs. You have to, I feel like League of Legends especially, so important to go back and actually watch what other teams do. And even you don't even have to watch their game, just watch drafts.
Yeah, that's one important thing that I've learned becoming a league coach myself recently. You do have to go through those VODs, and it does suck because you do have to nitpick, but those little tiny things make such a difference in this game. A lot of people don't know that, but because the games are so long and you're like, the first 20 minutes are kind of rough, you have to work your way to it. Some very, very minor mistakes can completely change it.
Exactly the case here now. So we should just be a few minutes away from actually hopping in this game as everybody is just readying up. And we are going to get the draft here going shortly. And I am very, very excited to see some of these picks and bans come through. Now, I know you're looking for the Jinx there to come out. But regardless, we'll see. I mean, honestly, the thing that's good about you and that you like Jinx is that it's actually so meta. And that you see it all the time. Exactly. So we are going to see the picks and bans come through here right now. Starting off with our 3 bans from each dedicated side. You have the Saints on the right, Hutchinson on the left, and there we go. Why don't you talk about her here? Some of our first bans.
That's Rakan. Rakan is one of the support players, or one of the support champions. And honestly, I feel like that's a little bit of a weird pick or ban because I've never seen St. Clair play Rakan before.
Yeah,
so
and that's why you watch VODs.
Exactly. You gotta watch VODs to make sure that you know who your opponent's gonna play, so then you can avoid possibly giving them their best champion.
I mean, hey, maybe they just don't like playing against a Rakan.
That's also true.
And so you can ban in that matter too. But typically, FaZe is in top lane, Fresh is in jungle, Barlow is in support. So like we were predicting, changes coming through. They're going to try out some new things. That is going to be very interesting to see. Now Hutchinson with a little bit better of a ban. I believe that is Caitlyn coming through.
That is Caitlyn.
On the lane. Oh, look at me go. I'm working on it. It's practice.
I have her matching hair color.
So
not my proudest moment, but it's there.
So Hutchinson now taking away somebody that St. Clair actually does use. So now no Caitlyn for Saints, which is a pretty good ban there for the side of Hutchinson.
Yeah, and then on the St. Clair side, we do see the Fiora and Gwen ban. Now, Fiora isn't really in the meta at the moment. She's in a decent spot. She's always going to be that one top laner who can achieve like a lot of different things possible. But with Gwen, she's extremely strong right now. A lot of people have been bringing her jungle because she has this ability just to run in to fight, do so much damage and back out with no problem.
Hey, I mean, isn't that League of Legends? Like, running in, do your damage, do your poke, and get out, right? So
as I like to play my... Oh, no, they banned her. They banned my champ. That's not fair to me. As I was just going to say, Jinx is one of those perfect champs who can just go in, deal so much damage, and just be like, okay, I'm leaving.
I am happy to see good bans coming through from Hutchinson, though. I mean, yes, it is the Jinx taking down, but it is another one of those champs that St. Clair does like to play.
Yeah, for sure.
And just taking out these meta picks from St. Clair is exactly what they are looking to do. So now with no Caitlyn and no Jinx, that is a lot of supportive players out for the side of St. Clair.
For sure. And then we do see the Camille ban. Now, the Camille ban is something interesting because Camille, she's not someone who's very strong early, but she is someone strong late. So it seems like that maybe Hutchinson has that team comp where they like to try and just rank up early. Or, sorry, just spend the first like 20 minutes ranking up. As you can see from the Mordekaiser pick, actually, Mordekaiser is someone who doesn't have as much damage early, but then later on as a game progresses, he gets extremely strong, almost unkillable.
Yes, they're trying to balance things out. Now, here's the question. The last time we saw Saints play in Collegiate League of Legends, they were finishing off these games in 20 minutes or so, 22 minutes or something, or just around that 20-minute marker. And now, if you're playing for these late-game scaling champs, St. Clair is not going to let that happen.
No, not at all. With how these games have been going, picking a late team comp is not the move against St. Clair. But we do now see the Ryze pick and the Zeri pick. As I did mention earlier, Zeri is one of those new champions. She is she's decently strong at the moment. Don't think they nerfed her yet, so she's not in the ground yet. But Ryze is definitely an interesting pick. And then we also see the Viego jungle. Viego is an interesting person, let me tell you. I'm not sure if you remember from other games, but he does, if he gets a kill or assist on anybody, he can take that champion and play them himself. So he's definitely a good pick against St. Clair. And we do see the Irelia, who I'm assuming is going to be mid lane instead of and have the Mordekaiser top. Irelia mid, I hate it. let me tell you how much I hate it.
Now, I don't, like, you're definitely way better at League of Legends than I am. You
Thank
definitely
you.
have way more of that knowledge than I am. But typically, these are champs that aren't crazy common to come through in games, from what I've seen at least.
No.
And I don't know if it's really meta right now or not, but these champs it's going to make for an interesting game. I'm excited to see a lot of these new champs come through here and play.
Yeah, for sure. The Mordekaiser and Viego, they're not as meta right now just because they're in that weird spot where it's like, yeah, they're strong, but yeah, they're not strong. Irelia mid is definitely a strong pick, though. Then we do see the Kayn jungle for St. Clair. That I'm excited for. Do you know how Kayn works at all?
I honestly could
right.
not tell you.
Let me give you a quick rundown. So anytime that Kayn auto attacks or uses an ability against someone who's ranged, he gets ranged points. And if he uses someone against melee, he gets melee points. If he's 100% melee, then he gets a red form, which is a tank. So that's why Kayn is so good in this. But if he gets more ranged points, he can go to Shadow Assassin. So he can either assassinate everybody on their team, or he can just become a tank and just run at you.
So he's like a multi-purpose.
Yeah,
he's like a
he's
reversible
actually
jacket.
one of my favorite junglers.
Yeah,
So
that
I'm
is-
definitely excited about that.
Oh, there's the Jax ban. Hutchinson gonna take out some of the top lane picks from Ricky here now. But honestly, like we said, he still does have. Oh yeah, Ricky's not playing in this game. I forgot.
He's
Ricky
not.
in the starting lineup. So at least still banning out some of the top lane. Like Jax,
sure.
regardless if it's on Ricky or not, it's still a really strong champ, and it's still going to be useful.
Yeah.
So Hutchinson taking that one out, still success.
And then we are going to see the Lulu and Karma ban. Honestly, I respect it. Lulu and Karma are probably the most annoying supports because they just sprint around you and shield their entire team for like hours on end. But we do see the Akali mid pick for St. Clair, and then we also see the Lucian. I personally don't like playing Lucian. I think his kit's kind of weird, but that's because I don't know how to play him right. And he is very, very, very strong. I'm not sure how well he will play into Zeri, but it should be interesting. And then we do see the Nautilus and the Leona support. That's going to definitely be interesting.
Yeah, these are going to be some interesting supports, and we typically do. These are actually two ones that we actually see a little bit more often here. I do feel like so. The Nautilus, especially Nautilus, as of lately, I've seen it on almost like every game. I feel like.
Yeah, he's definitely strong just because he can lock down enemy ADCs so fast that like you don't even know what's going on at that point. But it looks like that the Hutchinson team is going for more of a late game and a more crowd control comp. So they're planning to just lock down St. Clair in their spot and not let them get any kind of advantage at all. Where for the St. Clair side, they're trying so hard. They picked all those champs to try and assassinate all of them as quick as possible.
Yeah, so I don't think this one's going to work out too nicely for Hutchinson, to be completely honest, because St. Clair going to have a little bit of an advantage just being the #1 team. I don't agree with the taking the late game, the scaling champions, because St. Clair, especially with them picking early game, not as scaling champion select, and just trying to get done and dusted in the first 20 minutes,
For sure.
is gonna hurt Hutchinson, in my opinion. If this game goes longer than 25 minutes, Hutchinson gonna have a bit better of a fighting chance. If it ends in that first 25, it's got to be in St. Clair's favor.
It's got to go to St. Clair.
Exactly.
We are in game now, and it looks like I was wrong about the Mordekaiser and Irelia. Mordekaiser is actually mid lane, so he's going up against Ryze, and then there is an Akali top and Irelia top. That is gonna be strange.
Do we have a new HUD here? It looks like they actually changed. Is this an update in the game?
This is so basically with the last update that they had, they removed. See the little turrets at the top? They removed those, so you can't keep track of.
That's when we put logos up there. Yeah.
Yes, we did, but now we seem to get a little bit of a resolution out of it. So we do see how many. Basically,
so why don't you break down what each symbol stands for? I can obviously tell this turret on the very close to the gold there.
And so then there's the gold, and then after that is the Baron. Baron's the one that buffs the entire team up, or it can also be. I'm not sure if they would count Rift Herald whenever that does go up, but then we also have Drags at the very end.
Okay.
Dragons are very, very important in this game. So
no more dragons on the bottom, or so do we not see which type of dragons they get anymore?
We will see the types of dragons at the bottom. It will be right under here by the gold.
Okay.
But it just keeps like an overall count. So
awesome. That's what we like to hear. Get a little bit more information to our production team, and it is going to be the game getting underway here now, as we do see the side of Barlow and Verge potentially going to look to dive in onto a couple of these players, but it doesn't look as if we are going to see any any sort of composition as of yet. Zephyros here and Terita going to get into a little bit of dive. Zephyros tagged down, but will answer back with some poke of his own, and it is now going to be looking like potentially wanting to dive. Not going to go in on it though, so it is going to clear away. If we do talk about a little bit about this roster from Hutchinson, we do have clearly Warrior, King Magma, Terita, Soul Mage, and Soul Regality. So hey, let's see how these 5 players can play from Hutchinson against these Saints.
We did just see the Nautilus hook on the Leona to get a little bit of damage in, but they were able to get out without any problem. And then if you could see on the mini-map, we did see that our jungler Fresh decided to go in, but we do see Irelia going in real quick, but Ryze stops her with his stun. Anyways, the Kayn did end up taking the Raptors and the red buff from the enemy jungler, so that's definitely going to put him behind for a little bit.
I think whoever wins this bot lane fight early on is going to have such an advantage here going on forwards with this game. You already see Verge up to level 2. That is a very, very good start from him.
Yep.
Clearly Water and FaZe up here, both can be level 2 as well. So regardless, pretty even start here, if I'm going to be completely honest. Not a whole lot actually happening. It's almost more or less just a stalemate. Everybody's farming up, getting some gold under their belt, leveling up, and just trying to find a little bit more strength before any actually commits, dives, ganks, or anything like that comes through.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to be a while until we were able to get a good fight in, because everybody's just playing in order to get strong late here. Now, Zephyros is low on mana, so we do see the Irelia going in with the Q, gets stopped by the root, but then does stun the Ryze. And then we do see the Nautilus going in on here on the Leona. Ignites go off from the Leona. Heal has to be popped from the Zeri. And then the Lucian manages to get stunned in time in order to pick up the kill for Zeri. And then the Lucian decides to get the Leona. And we do see Zeri going in on the Nautilus. Hopefully she'll be able to pick up the kill. And the W hits! See, that's the thing about some of the skill shots. They don't look like they're going to hit, but then they do. And you're just sitting there like, that's not what I expected to happen.
When you start to get to this kind of level, you got to be hitting those skill shots. So that is the thing, right? So that's going to be a big hook coming through, and FaZe is actually dragged in towards clearly Warrior there. Now a lot of damage inflicted from either side. FaZe trying to sneak away, trying to get out of here, but no, he's going to have to take this fight or else he will lose his life, and that is going to be clearly Warrior able to find the pick. And now it is a 2 for 2 on the kill count here. St. Clair going to have about a 700 gold advantage though, so St. Clair still with a little bit of a heads up in this play style, and Fresh onto clearly a Warrior is looking to shut him down. A lot of damage getting inflicted. This could be bad for Fresh, but he will find it, and that is going to be the Saints now with an advantage gold-wise and kill-wise.
And we do see the Leona get the E and the stun off on the Viego here, so Ryze can pick up with the easy kill and the scuttle to put him even further behind in the jungle. If you do look down at the scoreboard, you can see that Fresh almost has double his farm, and that's going to be a huge, huge, huge problem later on in the game. We do see the gold advantage too. He's about 700 up, which is insane.
At this point in the game is insane. Yeah, we're not even 5 minutes through this one. To have that sort of an advantage across your opponent is such a heads-up play. It's such an advantage to have. And it is going to be Terita looking to dive in onto Zephyros here. Zephyros will answer back with some damage of his own, now forcing Terita to back off the play a little bit. Never mind, going to dive back in, but not enough to inflict a whole lot of damage to Zephyros. Zephyros still here, just getting the poke, doing some damage to the minions, and trying to do whatever he can here in this play. And Terita just trying to farm up these minions here as well. And honestly, this game has been a pretty even stalemate here from both sides. It's like a very basic setup, but wow, we'll dive in and shuts down Zephyros just like that, nice and quick.
We do see the Leona land the E on the Lucian, and they're able to pick up a kill. Hopefully they'll be able to stun the Nautilus in time before he can use his hook to get away. We do see Fresh coming around the corner, Leona cutting him off, so that then he's either forced to use Flash, and they're able to pick up another kill.
Yeah, that is going to be a very big one there for Fresh. Now doubling the side of Hutchinson's kills for the Saints, and now with a 2,000 gold advantage, it seems as if they are just scaling up. Like they're just like, it's like I just picture it as a graph, and their gold is just slowly on the rise here for St. Clair. Now look at the first dragon already through, and look at how quick they're shutting this one down. St. Clair to get a dragon this early on in the game as well, such a benefit.
Yeah, this drag is definitely going to help them out. The Mountain Drake does give armor and magic resistance, so it's able to help St. Clair live a little bit longer in these fights if they do choose to pick him. And we're definitely going to see an interesting game. That's all I can really say. We do see that the Zeri picked up a Noon Quiver and a Sheen, which is a little bit interesting. It seems like she's going more for a damage instead of the regular Triforce build. So it's definitely going to be something that's a little bit strange for a Zeri build, but hopefully it'll all work out in the end.
Yeah, we'll see if it does all work out in the end. We do see Hutchinson starting to make a little bit of an impact on St. Clair's gold lead, but just as I say that, Terryta is going to go down. Now, do they look to take out these minions and try to find some plates as well?
They should be able to. The minion wave is a little bit low, so it might be a little bit risky. You do see the Mordekaiser E land on the Akali here. Akali has to use a Shroud to try and get some damage in. And it looks like they're just going to cancel out the fight.
Yeah, it looked like they were going for a little bit of plates there on the turret, but they were not actually able to secure any. And it is going to be St. Clair. Really happy that they did not secure any sort of extra gold here for themselves. St. Clair just want to keep increasing this advantage they have gold-wise. And it is going to be FaZe and clearly a warrior here. FaZe actually going to try to dive in, trying to potentially make a play. Not going to work out too much in his favor. Will come right back in, trying to inflict some more damage. Clearly a warrior, though, will have FaZe's number. That is a level 7 against a level 6. FaZe going to get tagged down. That is a big damage taker onto him. Fresh will be here for the support. Now this is what could really help St. Clair. You cannot let FaZe go down like this. FaZe so weak. One more hit and he's down. That is going to be clearly a warrior able to find that pick. Fresh will be here for a trade. Will Fresh be able to find it? Doesn't look to be the case as of yet. That is another one, and they're coming through for Fresh, so he will actually end up finding that pick. And 2 on this side for the Saint. That is 3 kills, all in their favor. 3-for-1 trades. St. Clair will extend their gold advantage now to about 3,500.
Amazing plays all around the map. I don't know if you caught it up at top lane because it's very hard to see when the Mordekaiser are ult or not. That's why Fresh wasn't able to help the Akali instantly. Basically what happens is he brings you to a dimension where nobody else can hit you. And luckily, the Shroud from Akali was able to stop it for a few seconds. We're going to look back at the replay here. So that's where the ulti is. And that's why Fresh can't hit him for a few seconds. And he had to just try and play it around. Then we do go back to bot lane. We do see this easy stun off with the Leona E on the Lucian and a flash from Zeri in order to secure that kill before he can get away.
Yeah, beautiful plays there overall from the Saints, and it just worked out perfectly. When the first one went down from them, and they were, Hutchinson with that kill advantage on the Saints, I was a little bit concerned, but as soon as we switched over to this other team fight and St. Clair was able to clean it all up, made me a lot more confident in them. Now, looking for this one onto Terryta, we'll get him rooted, we'll get the cleanup. Clearly a warrior, and King Mongma going to be here to try to take in some action on the fight. Barlow tagged down pretty drastically. Zephyr and Barlow just trying to exit out the fight. They're trying to split up these defenders as well. So Barlow is going to be going one way. Zephyr, I think it was, going the other way. Now Barlow is going to do a little bit of poke to King Magma, knowing that he can't just walk away from this fight. With also having FaZe's help here, and Zephyr now will help so much. King Magma take down so weak, just trying to exit out of this fight. FaZe is jumping in, going for the dive, will find that pick, and it is going to now favor St. Clair even more.
Great pick. We do see the Kane going in here on the Nautilus, but then turns onto the Lucian and gets just completely deletes him with how fed Zeri is at the moment. I gotta say, I do kind of like this build on Zeri a little bit more than the original Triforce build.
Yeah, so without further ado, it is going to be FaZe here over clearly a warrior, trying to find some more damage dealt. It is going to be clearly a warrior, still having a level advantage over FaZe, so that does actually favor him a little bit there. Terryta, Zephyr doing a little bit of poke right around the St. Clair turret, and we only see about 1 turret down so far, and that is going to be for the side of St. Clair, as they now have a 5,500 gold advantage. It seems as if every 2 minutes or so, I'm seeing that St. Clair took another 2,000 gold advantage.
Yeah, it's just insane how the turret plating works and can buff your team. We do see the Leona and Fresh pulling up on the Irelia here. The Ryze gets the stun off, and they're trying to hold her down, and luckily the Leona E hits. They're able to pick up another easy kill. Barlow is everywhere on the map. He's just a menace right now.
Yeah, Barlow is doing very good stuff, so we'll see how it continues to play. If we look at the bounties of St. Clair, look at that 600 bounty on Verge already. That is crazy. He's got 80 farm as well. 3 players on St. Clair all at around 80 farm, so much farm to be made, so much poke being dealt, and now look at this team fight. It's going to be King Magma falling after he goes airborne there, and now the other two are like, okay, this fight not for my liking, and they will make their way out of it. FaZe is going to be here against clearly a warrior, doing some poke, forcing this one way back onto his turret, actually. He might be able to do a little bit of damage to either clearly a warrior or the turret here. FaZe is trying to bait out a play to come through. Warrior will level up now to level 9, and FaZe is going to send in some damage. That's going to be like half of his HP instantly gone.
This is definitely going to be weird later on, because when the objective bounty comes up, if Hutchinson can hold out long enough, they can probably secure an objective bounty, which gives extra gold to everybody on the team. So they'll be able to get those items that they need in order to fight back against St. Clair.
Exactly the point. So Fresh just going to get a little bit more gold in his pocket there with that pickup, and it is going to be now Soul Regality and Soul Magma, both trying to find their respective openings after clearing up those minions. And now Terita and FaZe looking for a little bit of a battle over here towards the mid lane, and that is going to be some damage inflicted. Fresh is here for the support. The dive is in, the gank is there, and the cleanup comes through. FaZe will find that one. 16-4 is the kills here right now for St. Clair. It was looking good for Hutchinson a little bit earlier on in the game, but as of lately, St. Clair has really started to run with it.
We do see the Zeri going in 1v2 here, was able to get the Lucian out with her ulti and the Q, and then we do see her chase down the Nautilus and able to secure another kill. How would you feel if you were playing a game and one person runs down two of you guys, and including when
feeling.
you have a tank on by your side?
It is honestly the worst feeling that you can imagine, right? It is going to be like, okay, what are we supposed to do, right? It's a 2-on-1. We have a tank, and we're losing these fights still. Like, it's a really unfortunate turn of events. Clearly, a warrior is going to come in on the dive, trying to inflict a lot of damage. Zephyros tagged down super weak, trying to make it out with his life. Barlow is there for the support. Zephyros will stay alive, now channeling back to the home base, and will regain his HP. 19-4 is the kill department for the Saints here right now, with all three members ready to kind of dive into this turret here shortly.
Yeah, and they're going to spawn the Rift Herald here in order to get the turret down as fast as possible. We do see that they were able to get a bot lane as well. So I know that damage from the Rift Herald is so insane, but the best thing is that if he lives through this one, he does it again to the next turret. We do see that Hutchinson is going to take the drag while Fresh is top, which honestly, that's a good trade for Hutchinson. So it's definitely getting to that point where they're hoping to rank up. By this point is where they should hope to do a little bit more damage, but because St. Clair has so much control over everything, hold on, we do see the Akali running under turret here. I believe what he's trying to do is try and just execute before any of their teammates can reach him, because he knew that he was getting caught out by something. He does end up dodging Nautilus Q and got executed.
Hey man, it is what it is. Sometimes you run into those turrets, and sometimes you don't. It's gonna not work out there for him as well. But it was more of a team play, right? Trying to work things out for the rest of his teammates, as Fresh is gonna be here on Terita. This turret super low, so if Fresh can actually take this one down, that's gonna be the mid lane turret down as well. But oh my goodness, Fresh will get shut down, and that is gonna be a big play coming through from the side of Hutchinson. Things are starting to swing a little bit more in their favor here lately.
Yeah, we do see the Zeri ult immediately the second that Irelia goes in on her and is just able to knock her out with no problem. Now, back to what you said earlier about those gold bounties. Take a look at them now.
Yeah, it's astronomical.
Even Barlow has a bounty for 150 gold. We do see the Leona R come in, including the E, trying to lock down that Nautilus in time so that then he can't get away. Looks like they're going to turn on the Lucian now, but they might just leave it be because he is under turret. We do see Zephyros try and poke him down a little bit. More like for entertainment purposes. We do see Barlow coming around the corner using Hex Flash to hopefully get on the turret.
This turret's a killer right now. It's inflicting so much damage to Barlow and Zephyros, but Barlow and Zephyros are able to come away with a kill. Yes, Zephyros now tagged down to like nearly 1 HP, but regardless, the kill is theirs to take. They know how much damage they can take, and they know what's a safe fight and not. That's what makes them such strong players. Clearly, a warrior will be here, tagged down to about a quarter of his HP, as FaZe will continue on with the dive. A little bit of shielding up there will help them out for a moment. FaZe, though, still looking stronger in this fight, and will find the kill. That is going to be now 24 for St. Clair.
Beautiful play.
Look at the gold between these two teams. It is crazy right now.
One good thing that did happen is that the Irelia did get the shutdown on Fresh, so he should have at least a little bit more of a gold advantage. It wasn't as much as they would need in order to come back and be able to stomp St. Clair, but it is at least something to get a little bit of push. Does look like the Irelia is going to go on Fresh here, and he has to try and fight for his life. Manages to get it purely just because of Conqueror and Gore Drinker, and then ults in on the Lucian, get his health back just in time for Zeri to come around the corner and take the last two down.
Yeah, St. Clair just made that play look so easy, and like you know it's not. Like
no, I know because I played Kane last night.
Hey, it probably didn't end up looking like this, did it? So
nope, I wasn't even that form. That's what I was saying earlier. Right now he is the red form, so he is that tanky and is able to basically be another support for the team. And it's definitely interesting. We did see him go into base, but it did look like he got out with no problem just a second ago.
And that is a big turret to take down, because that is one of the last turrets they have on that mid lane, where St. Clair still has both of theirs. St. Clair is still ready to go. There's not a whole lot of impact made into their zone, but Verge is now legendary after he finds that one. Soul Regality going to be tagged down so much here. Now St. Clair's looking to get an inhib off this play, but it is going to be King Magma there with some damage, but no, it's going to be completely shut down. That is the quadra kill. Clearly a Warrior for the pentakill. Zephyr trying to inflict all his damage, but so many players are weak. Barlow has to back off the fight. Clearly Warrior now down to his last little bit of HP. There is the pentakill coming through from the St. Clair Saints, and an ace there as well. And now this is where St. Clair does so much damage to turrets, inhibitors, everything in that regard.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that he was able to get the penta, being 10-0 before that fight just now. But props to him, he played it very, very well. And then we do get to see them back off a little bit, as the rest of the team is kind of low from tanking that turret for him. We do see the Irelia flash in to ult onto the Rise and got a shutdown. And then we do see the Akali coming in, one shot, the ADC, and looks like Nautilus is going to be taken out too here.
Yeah, so here we are now. It is going to be a double kill once again back in favor of the Saints, but it's a 3-on-3 at this point. There is 4 players out of this lobby here right now waiting for that respawn to come through. Terita here on the back end trying to inflict some damage to FaZe and Verge here, but it does look like this might not work out too nicely for him. He's going to go in for a dive. His teammates here for the gank, and I don't know if it's working out too hot, because clearly a Warrior is now tagged down, but there is the shutdown. That is a lot of gold over to the side of Hutchinson, and a big kill there. FaZe trying to clean up the scraps on this one, but it's not going to be easy. Clearly a Warrior will get stunned out, will get cleaned up, but that shutdown was massive.
Beautiful play from Warrior in that he was able to ult the Zeri and was able to lock her down. Basically what happens is you go into a small little circle and you can't run anywhere. Zeri did try and go over the wall, but it didn't look like it worked out in her favor. But the funny thing is, Jackson, Zeri still has a 700 gold bounty.
Yeah.
She's still legendary.
It's mind-boggling. But regardless, it is going to be Barlow here. Now in a 1-on-2 fight. Yeah, he's going to fall off this one a little bit here now. He's like, okay, this fight is not for my liking. Waiting for Zephyrot's support here now, and he might be able to make a little bit more of a play here. Now they're trying to see where they want to attack it from, and it does look like they are going to start by inflicting some damage to Soul Reality, but it doesn't look like any sort of commits coming through. I think they're really trying to get this turret out of the bot lane as well. I think every other turret in the lanes are down. Yeah, this is the last turret that's actually in a lane, is in the bot lane, so they're really trying to clean that one up, just allowing them to have a little bit more map control.
Yeah, one smart thing that St. Clair did do is that they did not get the inhib when they were in the base. There is a reasoning behind that. If you get the inhib in the base, then that means that the super minions show up. The super minions are worth more gold, aka you're just feeding the enemy team.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was definitely a good play by them, trying to keep them as as much as at a disadvantage as possible. Do you see the Akali trying to go in on the Mordekaiser here, use a strat to try and get away? Mordekaiser struggling to get a hold on the Akali as she just jumps around him, fresh knocks him up and secures the kill on them. And then we do see the ulti from Zephyr go in, and they're able to pick up 2 kills bot lane. It looks like everybody's just dropping like flies. Yeah,
like there's nobody alive right now for the side of Hutchinson. And nobody alive for another 15 seconds as well. This is just a pure time for St. Clair to inflict damage on turrets, to inflict damage on inhibs. And yeah, like you said, will we see them clean up one here now? Maybe they might get an inhibitator now, knowing that all turrets are cleaned up in the lanes, and knowing that how much damage has been dealt to the side of Hutchinson. Even if they do get some gold from super minions, it's not going to make a crazy difference nowadays, because St. Clair does have that 20k gold advantage.
I know, it looks like they are going to try and go for both inhibs here. We do see the Rise auto-attacking, but we do see them going on the Mordekaiser here and completely take him out of the fight early. Ulti on the Zeri from what it looks like, but Zeri's able to take him out, no problem. Nautilus hook goes in on the Kayn, and Kayn's able to get in there and do some more damage in return. And it just looks like this is just going to be the end of the game right here.
Yeah, that's St. Clair just shutting everything down. No answers allowed to come back. I mean, yes, they do find Verge get a little bit of a shutdown there, but he's still at a 700 gold bounty.
I know.
And he still is going to have this extreme advantage over his opponent being Soul Mage here. And now, I was calling him Soul Mega this whole time, and it's Soul Mage. Okay, sorry about that one, Mage, but we're back in the fight here. Now it is going to be St. Clair looking to take down the Nexus and looking for a win. That's going to be a Shelly on it as well, doing so much damage. And this is just inches away from being the end of the game here, Kaylee.
It does look like they're just going to try and focus the Nexus here, end out the game, and hopefully we'll be able to get into game 2 quickly. What did you think about that one there?
I thought that was a pretty good cLoL game. Honestly, Hutchinson was biting back. They were like, I mean, some of these collegiate League of Legends games we've seen here in the past have been a little bit more of a struggle for the opposing schools. However, this one, Hutchinson put up a good fight. Yes, they found some good picks. There's definitely some good things that they did in that game
to
look at. But St. Clair bite back, and they just shut it down.
Yeah, as I said, they picked a late game team comp, and because of that, St. Clair knows how to play around that. They've
Well,
done it countless times, so
we were saying in the pregame, if this game is quicker than 25 minutes, St.
Yep.
Clair's taking it because when and you can even say that at a pro level, when you're picking for a late game scaling comp and you know another team is going to come out of the gates really strong, it's not going to collide. So I think we're going to see
for
Hutchinson
sure.
change a lot of that going into our next game and really start to kind of break it up a little bit.
Yeah, we might be able to see Ricky here before the second game comes up. He was a little bit late today, but we were able to get everything together, so we might see him top lane now. So hopefully we'll get that even Masters player top lane battle.
I
and
think
I'm
they
really
should just
excited.
keep the same team comp, honestly.
Oh,
I think,
really?
Yeah, there's no need for Ricky at this point now. I mean, to be completely honest, if you just did that against Hutchinson here right now, and you find that win in that regard, that dominantly with that much of a gold advantage at the end of the game, give a new starting lineup a try. You usually see Ricky in every single other game. Maybe try one without.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely cLoL gives the St. Clair's team an opportunity to try and switch up what they're doing, just to get like a little bit more practice, and like just in case of what happened today. Actually,
Yeah.
Ricky had some things going on and wasn't able to make it on time, but because of that, we were able to see what other players can pull off in other lanes, and it actually ended up really, really well for St. Clair. I'm proud of them.
Exactly. So I think we are going to take a quick few minute break here before we hop into our game number 2. So with that being said, my name is Jackson Pride Brown. Your
I'm
name is
Kaylee.
Kaylee here. Yeah, and we will be back with you guys in just a minute or so. Stay with us.